I'm not saying GSP greased. I'm just saying he was slick. I'm a guy that has wrestled 1,000 matches at least, fought 50 times, and I practice every day in a gym. I know the difference between sweat and something else. I'm not saying GSP greased. I'm just saying he was slick. You know, whether that was lotion that he puts on his body the night before that come out through his pores. I'm not saying GSP did anything wrong.
Right.
The only thing I'm saying is he was slick the last 2 times I fought him.
But that is wrong, though, if he's putting lotion on, because that is one of the things that hasn't been covered in this whole thing. You know, we're hearing out a lot of different camps that it's, you know, kind of a tactic that people are using. They're oiling up maybe, you know, where no one can see it, then it actually comes out almost like baby oil. So that is a big story, even though you're not saying in the ring he's not greasing. There is something wrong with doing that. I mean, do you do that? You know that people shouldn't be doing that the night before.
Well, I look at it as, no, I'm not doing it. I don't think it's fair, but yet if it's not in the rule books saying you can't do it, then you can do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if the rule book doesn't say you can't do it, then there's no law against it. So I mean,
do you think there should be? And how would it be enforced?
How are you going to monitor what people do 2 days before a fight? You know what I'm saying? You just can't. So I mean, you know, unfortunately, this sport's not like boxing or football or basketball. We have to go in there and we have to touch each other. And you know, if a tennis player greased up, it wouldn't make one matter to the other opponent, or football or anything else. But we, you know, it kind of does. I mean, if somebody else puts lotion on an hour before the fight, you know, it's going to make a difference in the fight, no matter if it's minute or not. I mean, if GSP was greasing, when BJ's legs kept falling down, BJ was wanting a high guard, and his legs just kept slipping down, and really GSP wasn't doing anything to push him down. They were just sliding down. I mean, it did make a minute difference in the fight, just because BJ couldn't put his legs where he wanted them.
So they said they're going to have people watching, and they're actually going to assign cut guys, so they make sure that none of that goes on. Do they need to be more vigilant during the fight, every round, in the cage? And do you think fighters on either side are going to start watching for it more? Do they have the right to complain during the match?
When I'm in the middle of a fight and I'm sitting on my corner, the last thing I'm going to worry about is what he's doing over there. Yeah. If I don't care if they watch this anymore or not, I really don't. If they're going to put somebody in there, the commission guy should be in there watching that in the first place. But if they're going to assign a cut guy to watch that, that's fine. But I'm not going to pay attention to what's going on over there. I'm going to let them do their job in watching it. I don't know if I can answer that question. I wouldn't have come out and said it, just like I didn't do it. I mean, I went back to my locker room like Sean Sherk did, and I said, man, that guy was just slick. Every time I grabbed him, it was just like it was. I could. Every time I grabbed GSP, I could just tell that he was just slick. That was kind of went through my mind right after I grabbed him. But I mean, that's why I didn't go out in the public, because it just looks bad. Hey, I just lost. I'm not going to try and make up excuses. I lost because GSP was a better fighter that night. I didn't lose because GSP was slick. So I mean, it just makes BJ look a little bad. He come out after a loss and said he was slick.
All right.
I really don't know a whole lot about it. I know guys do it. I'm not going to point any fingers at anybody. But I know I fought guys that were more slippery than they should have been. I know what sweat feels like. I've been wrestling for 28 years. I know what sweat feels like, and I know what oil feels like, and I know there's guys that grease up. So as a fighter, I don't really know what I can do about it. You know, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I guess the commission's job is to somehow find a way to prevent it.
Well, you know, I noticed a lot of the story turned into the Vaseline in the cage, and Phil Nurse putting Vaseline on his back, his shoulders, and his chest. And to me, I think the more I talk to you guys, maybe the issue is really being missed, and that's not the greasing that is going on that really is prevalent. It's the stuff before the fight, is it not?
I know there's ways that guys can do it where they don't actually have grease on them when they fight, but as soon as you sweat, the grease comes out. There's they bathe in it or something. I really don't know. I have no idea how that works. So I know there's different things guys can do to mask it, and I really don't know how they go about it.
So you said you fought guys in the past who've done it. Why didn't you make a big deal of it?
I didn't say anything during the fight, so I'm not going to say anything after the fight. You know, I know I fought guys that have greased up, you know, and like I said, you know, I mean, if I don't say anything during the fight, if I don't tell the referee, look, you got to wipe him down, I'm not going to cry about it afterwards. That's just how it is.
Will you do it in the future, mention it in the ring or in the cage if you feel it?
You know, the problem is when you're fighting and you're in the heat of the moment and you're in the octagon and you got all this momentum going, you can't stop and be like, okay, look, you got to wipe the guy down. It kind of kills the momentum. It kills the crowd. It's hard, man. You know, I mean, you get into the fighting mindset and that's all you got on your mind is fighting. So it's kind of a hard thing to do, I guess.
So you really never came out officially and said anything about GSP aside from the video?
No, I never really said anything about anything. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna cry about something after the fact. So.
Dana White was saying the other day that he didn't like the fact that guys did come out publicly, like Matt Hughes, like Frank Trigg, like Jason Miller, after all this went down. Like, well, they lost, so now he's kind of excusing it like, well, I don't know if I believe it. Those guys lost, so of course now they're bringing it up. What do you think of that?
That's exactly why I'm not bringing it up. I'm not saying anything. You know, I mean, I got beat. That's how it is, and I'm not gonna cry about it after the fact. You know, that's exactly. I'm not saying anything about anybody. You know, I mean, I beat guys that I grease on them too. Why not say something about them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So how do you think, or what do you think of the way BJ's handled it?
I really don't know how he's handling it. Is he taking it to court? I don't know.
There's been statement after statement after statement. He's got a really good website now, a very good multimedia website. A lot of videos. They actually put together like a 6-minute piece with some music, included your video. I mean, they've done a good job with it, but they're keeping it out there. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it embarrassing for the sport? Is it embarrassing to BJ?
I don't know. I'm not in BJ's shoes. I guess I kind of feel the same way about that as I did with myself. You know, I didn't say anything about it during the fight, so I'm not going to say anything about anything after the fight. And I guess I feel kind of the same way. I mean, if BJ thought that GSP had grease on him, then he should have said something to the referee. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't out there, so it's not really my place to really give my opinion on the subject. You know.
All right.